At around 6 p.m. on October 8th, 2022, 35-year-old William Joseph Hale and 45-year-old Frank Gilliard Allison were driving down Highway 1 in Nassau County, Florida. It isn't exactly clear what specifically triggered what happened next, but both men got into a dangerous game of cat and mouse road rage. This all taking place while the vehicles were traveling at speed. According to a witness who eventually called for police as the road rage continued down the highway, he said that both men were speeding, driving erratically and brake checking each other. In other words, they were speeding up, trying to overtake one another and then braking instantly. At some point during the encounter, William, who had been driving a Dodge Ram, got up alongside Frank's Nissan and began shouting at him to pull over. In response to this, Frank's front passenger put her hand out of the window and stuck her middle finger up. This was followed by Frank rolling his window down and shouting back at William. But as he did so, William threw a bottle at him with force. Angered, Frank then grabbed his Sig Sauer 45 caliber automatic handgun and fired one shot at William before driving away at speed. The bullet went into the right rear passenger door and struck William's 5-year-old daughter in the leg. But after realizing his daughter had been shot, she had been screaming out in pain. He wanted to get instant revenge on this stranger who had just harmed his daughter, and so he gave chase. After catching up to Frank, William produced a Glock 9mm semi-automatic handgun and began firing while still driving. Every bullet from the magazine had been emptied, with 3 of those bullets hitting the Nissan. One of those hit Frank's 14-year-old daughter in the back. Shortly after she had been shot, both men spotted a police patrol car and pulled over. This is what happened next.
I'm the one that called, bro.
You're right,
I'm the one that called.
Okay. No,
what he's saying, what he did.
Fuck you, both y'all did.
Do me a favor. Let's take care of your daughter. Just stay right here,
Absolutely. Okay? I'm all about taking care. Oh my God.
Look at me, you're okay.
We're on our way home. These 2 are from Georgia. They're plucking clay.
I know, sweetie.
Oh. I would never, ever put her in this position.
Bravo 1301, be advised, Fire Rescue, they're going to have a trauma alert to...
Do I have to run in an ambulance?
Be advised, we have 2 patients.
I'll take my shirt off. You saw them. I don't know where you were. They were.
Sweetie, just talk to me, okay? You got some really...
I'm sorry if you can't understand. I'm just sorry I can't understand.
We just want to read you your rights so that way you are aware.
So there's not
We're still not answering any questions or asking any questions. We're just letting you know what's going on. So this from this point forward, you are
going to tell you everything.
Okay. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questioning if you wish. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand each of these rights I have explained to you?
Yes, sir.
Having these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to us now or in shortly?
Do I need to have an attorney?
It's totally up to you. We're not going to be asking you any questions. We're just letting you know of your rights before, so that way you understand.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to tell you what happened.
Okay, and we're not
Zero.
asking that question right now. We just wanted to be sure you understood before anybody else just walked up and started talking.
I want to say about it.
How long was it?
Both men were arrested at the scene and eventually charged with attempted murder. They were both booked into the Nassau County Jail but have since bonded out. Luckily, both girls survived the ordeal, although Frank's daughter suffered a collapsed lung. But it could have turned deadly in the matter of moments, not just for the girls but the wider public. But if it's one thing, no matter what, road rage just isn't worth it, especially if you have children in the car. If someone does something dodgy with their vehicle, as tempting as it may be to get out and confront that person, or in this case, confront the person while you're driving down a highway, it's better to just drive on. At the end of the day, as long as you're not hurt and your car isn't damaged, that's all that matters. Again, this could have been more devastating than it already is, and realistically, two young girls who had nothing to do with the situation at hand have fell victim because of their father's egos.
Sometimes we see people acting stupid and doing dumb things out on the highway. They sometimes let their emotions get the best of them, and they don't really think about the consequences of their actions or what could happen as a result of their stupidity. Today, I'm going to talk about one of those cases. This is the information we know right now. Of course, some of it could change as we continue our investigation. This is a road rage incident that occurred a little after 6 p.m. on Saturday, October 8th, on US 1 south of Callahan. NCSO received multiple 911 calls with reports of people being shot. According to a witness, there was a black Dodge Ram pickup truck with 5 occupants and a gray Nissan Murano with 3 occupants involved in a road rage incident. He described it as a cat and mouse game the whole time. He stated that both drivers were driving so erratically, he called 911 because he thought something bad was going to happen. At some point, there was also another pickup truck involved in the road rage, but wasn't involved in the shooting incident. According to our investigation, the driver of a black Dodge Ram, William Joseph Hale, age 35, from Douglas, Georgia, and the driver of a Gilliard Allison, age 43, from Callahan, Florida, were both involved in a road rage incident traveling northbound on US 1, coming Jacksonville area, speeding, driving erratically, and brake checking each other. That's getting in front of each other and applying the brakes. At some point during the encounter, the driver of the Dodge Ram got up alongside the Nissan and rolled his passenger window down and began shouting at the driver of the Nissan to pull over. The right front passenger of the Nissan put her arm out the passenger window and flicked the other vehicle off with her middle finger. The Nissan driver, Allison, rolled his window down to shout back at the other driver, and a plastic water bottle was thrown from the Dodge Ram into the Nissan. According to the Nissan driver, Allison, the water bottle did not hurt him or cause him to lose control of the vehicle. The driver of the Nissan, Allison, then grabbed his 6-hour .45 caliber semi-automatic handgun and fired 1 shot at the Dodge truck before driving away at high rate of speed. Allison stated the reason he fired his weapon was to get out of the whole situation. The bullet that Mr. Allison fired went into the right side rear passenger door of the pickup truck and struck a 5-year-old girl in the right leg. According to the driver of the Dodge Ram, Hale, he heard a loud pow, but he really didn't think nothing of it until everyone started freaking out in the back seat. When he seen the Nissan Murano speed away, he then realized his daughter was shot. As the Nissan was leaving the Dodge Ram, the Ram driver, Hale, sped up to get closer to the Nissan and began firing several shots from his Glock 43 9mm semi-automatic handgun out of the driver window with his left hand back at the Nissan. According to the Dodge driver, Hale, he shot everything that was in the magazine, 7 or 8 rounds. At least 3 bullets struck the Nissan. One of the bullets went through the rear of the vehicle and struck a 14-year-old girl in the back, causing a collapsed lung. As both vehicles were speeding northbound on US 1, they observed an NCSO patrol car at Kimmy Road in US 1 and stopped, and the 2 drivers got out and started arguing and fighting with each other. The deputy had to break up the fight. The deputy then called Nassau County Fire Rescue, who transported both juveniles that had been shot to the hospital. Their injuries turned out to be non-life-threatening. After our investigation, Frank Gilliard Allison and William Joseph Hale were both arrested and charged with attempted murder and booked into the Nassau County Jail. Now, what is scarier than one crazy driver with a gun? Two crazy drivers with a gun. Thankfully, no one was killed in this incident, but it could have been very easily turned out that way because 2 people were acting stupid and let their tempers get the best of them. There could have been 2 dead kids because of 2 stupid grown men. If someone is driving aggressively around you, let them go. Slow down. Go the other direction. Get the vehicle description if you can and call police. Don't show them how stupid they are by doing something stupid yourself. Nobody wins when you engage them, because this is what can happen.